Hello, everyone, and welcome to this session. We have a treat prepared for you today. Our friends from Google will be here. We're so excited that you are joining us for our virtual tech conference, and we hope that you had a chance to see the opening session. It was phenomenal. And we had 6 wonderful sessions in A. And so now we're going to keep it going. A lot of learning today. I'm Tasha Burke-Peer, the Technology Program Specialist with the Department of Educational Technology. And before I bring up our presenter, I just want to share a couple of things. We have moderators in the chat with a wrench by their name. So if you have any questions, please know that they will be addressed from our moderators. We will also have a couple of our Google partners in the chat as well, answering questions. And we have our hashtag up there that we're using, hashtag PBC TechConf. So please be sure to use that if you're tweeting today and tag us at EdTechPBC. We want to see where you're learning from. So make sure you put that in the chat as well so we know where you're coming from today. And so now we're just going to bring our Google partners up. So here's Sam Canning-Kaplan, and along with Sam, we have Iris and Jeremy. So I'm going to let them go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, hi everybody. Thank you so much for having us. My name's Sam Canning-Kaplan. I work as a workspace specialist on the Google for Education team. I'm really happy to be back again this year for the Palm Beach Technology Conference. I'm joined by Iris Valle, who's our account manager for all of the school districts in Florida, as well as Jeremy Bunkley, who is our solutions engineer. So just another technical engineer that we have as a resource to help all the folks at Palm Beach County and all of our friendly districts across Florida. So without further ado, today we're going to be talking about what's new with Google for Education. We're going to be talking about lots of relevant tools that you have currently available at Palm Beach County, how you can utilize them, and we'll talk about some workflows as well. So without further ado, feel free to add questions in the chat. Jeremy and Iris will be monitoring that as well. And we will see you following this in the Kumo space as well. So let's jump right in. All right, so as you'll see here at the top, we have a bit.ly link. It's case sensitive, so PB Google 22. We also have a QR code below that you can join via your phone or other device there. This deck will remain available to you as well, and we'll be sharing this out as a resource following too. But I'll leave this up for another couple seconds here. Again, is case sensitive, bit.ly/pbgoogle22, all lowercase. All right, let's dive right in. So at Google for Education, we have a strong commitment to enable impactful teaching and learning for everyone from anywhere. And we're really proud of the fact that we have over 170 million students and educators worldwide using Google Workspace for Education. So we're thankful to our customers. We continue to adapt and create innovative solutions to make sure that we can make our educators' lives easier, students' lives easier, and districts across the globe give them all the resources they need. And there's 4 key tenets and core values to what we do at Google Workspace for Education. The first being simple. We want to create solutions that engage your school community with easy-to-use tools that meet our learners where they're at. Next, we have helpful. As many of you know, built into all of our Google for Education solutions, we want to have real-time collaboration, the ability to connect instantly and create efficient and productive tools so you can stay on top of things on everything teaching and learning. Next is flexible, and we understand that users within institutions, whether it's students, teachers, admins, all have very different needs. So we'd like to create solutions that are flexible for each of your unique situations to meet you as the user where you're at. And last but not least, security. We take this incredibly serious at Google for Education. We understand the responsibility that we have with the vast number of users that utilize us in the education space. So you can trust in multi-layer built-in security that meets rigorous privacy and compliance standards, and we are always staying on top of this. So without further ado, let's jump right into some updates. So everything we're talking about today is available for our districts here. We'll talk about a few things that'll be coming out in the next couple of months as well for you. But first, we want to focus on Google Meet. So as a Google for Education Workspace Plus district, Palm Beach County has available all of our functionality in terms of Meet. So a couple just call outs here, things like the ability to have larger meetings, attendance reports, questions and answers, polling, you name it. These are some of the advanced features that you all have available today. In addition to that, we have things like breakout rooms where you can, jump from a larger meeting, have your students broken out into smaller groups, where you as the teacher or co-teacher are able to jump into those breakout rooms to have a very interactive session. Another big thing that I like to call out that I think is incredibly powerful is our noise cancellation that's available in Google Meet. This is really helpful for students, teachers. Everybody has a lot of noise going on at different times. I live in New York City, and I'll often be on meetings with noise cancellation turned on inside of my meets. I'll have ambulances driving by, lots of loud noises, and nobody can hear them but you. So it really helps for distractions and making sure that people stay focused in those meets. Highly recommend turning those on within your meet, and the Palm Beach County tech team can help you figure out how to do that, but it's very straightforward. Next, this is a really exciting feature that we've had launched for a while here, but just like to call it out. These are live translated captions inside of Meet. So what's really cool about this is it translates from English into a number of different languages, some of the most popular being French, German, Spanish. So for example, I as the teacher can be having a meet, I'm speaking in English, it'll automatically, and let's say I'm teaching ESL or I'm meeting with parents that are Spanish speakers, but don't speak limited English. In those examples, I can be speaking in English, it'll live translate it into Spanish for those people. So it just gives them the ability to follow along, for you to communicate, and I think it's a really amazing tool. Highly recommend checking out live translated captions inside of Meet. Next, we have the ability to set up host controls and assign co-hosts ahead of time. We know that classrooms have various and different setups, and oftentimes you'll have co-teachers, co-hosts that are available. So something that's cool is inside of Calendar prior to that, you can actually pre-configure safety controls, such as having chat turned on, chat turned off, and designate co-hosts before the meeting. So this allows you and the other co-hosts to have full control over the meeting without having to jump around and assign them as the sole owner. So it just allows you to have many adaptive ways to have a meet. Another cool aspect here, this is cool with students. This is also great. Maybe you're meeting on a committee, maybe it's the English department, math department, you name it. And let's say you're referencing a document, but you want to bring everyone to that document. A really cool feature that's available for our paid users, which Palm Beach County is the ability to present to Meet inside of docs, slides, and sheets. So you could actually be in the Google Doc yourself, and then you could bring the call to that Google Doc. So it just creates a much more collaborative way inside of the doc or inside of the slides that you might be working on. So just another cool adaptive way to use Google Meet. Another thing, and this is available if enabled by an admin, is the ability to live stream Google Meets events inside of YouTube. Just another really cool, fun functionality that's available for districts like yourself. So again, this is for those engaging where you need to do a live stream for those types of events. This, I think, is a great safety mechanism for teachers. And this is the ability to review and share what was discussed in class with transcripts. This is available to our Education Plus customers, which Palm Beach County is. And with this, you'll be able to start the transcription. Following the meeting with your students, you will get an email that will have the ability to download and review the transcription. So you'll be able to see exactly who said what in your meet, what they said, and you'll have a full written transcript as well to follow along with. So this is helpful, whether it's just providing for accessibility reasons, a way for people to follow along with the conversation after the meet. It's also good for if something inappropriate, for example, was said in one of your meets, that you have that documentation. So that's very helpful, and that's a security tool that you all have available. Next, we're going to dive into Google Classroom. And this is a really exciting feature that we have available inside of Google Classroom, and that is called our Classroom add-ons. What this does is we've understood in the past, inside of Google Classroom, our customers want to be able to share various resources, from lots of other publishers, third-party content, you name it. And with this, we have the ability to have single sign-on inside of classrooms for a number of different tools. The ones that are most relevant at Palm Beach County that your tech team has turned on is going to be Kahoot, Pear Deck, Adobe Express, Nearpod, and PBS Learning Media. You'll see a number of different tools up here as well. The way that this works is instead of having students having to leave Google Classroom, log into these various tools, you having to manage that whole process as a teacher, which we know can be quite time consuming and to be, for all intents and purposes, just a waste of time at times. This will allow everybody to immediately be logged into that particular tool. The window will be done inside of Google Classroom, so you're not having to leave to access Kahoot, Pear Deck, you name it. And in the examples where the work is actually graded in that third-party tool, we also have the ability for that to be automatically added and graded and added into the Google Classroom gradebook. So again, not having to leave the platform to access those, the ability to do your work inside of Google Classroom without logging into various platforms, and even the grade integration into your Google Classroom gradebook. So super excited. Again, the ones that your team is going to be making available is Kahoot, Pear Deck, Adobe Express, Nearpod, and PBS Learning Media. So really exciting. Highly recommend checking this out. And this is called Classroom Add-ons. Another very cool tool that's built inside of Google Classroom is Originality Reports. We talked about this last year, but I like to just highlight it to make sure everybody's aware that it exists and you have full access to the functionalities. And what this is this is Google's plagiarism detection tool. So within this, you're able to set this up very easily inside of Google Classroom. When you're creating assignment, you can click a box that says, I want this to be checked with Originality Reports. And what that does is it'll check your work in Google Docs, Slides, even Microsoft Word for items that are submitted inside of Google Classroom across, harnessing the power of Google search. So it's going against, hundreds of billions of web pages, over 40 million books, and so much more that's available for where you can search. Some additional features that you guys have available as a district are the ability to compare student work to anything previously submitted inside of your domain. So this would be school matches. So let's say you want to also check this work against previously submitted student work. It'll also do that available. You'll also be able to backfill previously submitted work. So as things are submitted into Google Classroom, they'll be added to the repository. So when future checks, it will check against them as well. And something that I really love about Originality Reports is it's not just a gotcha tool where it's just the staff checking it and the students themselves aren't able to check their work. We want students to be able to check their work so we can teach them academic integrity. So they can actually run reports on their own work prior to submission. So they can make sure that they're citing correctly, they have the correct sources, and that they're giving that credit that's needed. So I think it's a really powerful tool, so easy to use, and our system will automatically check this for you if you check that box of Originality Reports inside of Google Classroom. So definitely check that out. And then a new recent update was, it was previously available in Docs, and this has been also expanded to Google Slides. So just, again, numerous ways to check work based upon however your student is submitting their work in Classroom. Another very, very exciting tool that we have available for districts like yourself who are on Education Plus, which is our premier edition, is practice sets. At Google, we have a long history of adaptive learning and really harnessing the power of AI and machine learning within, that power of Google that we have throughout many of our tools. And with this, we wanted to create an ability to have more engaging ways to guide students with what we call practice sets. And what are practice sets? This is a way to assess students and in a really creative and adaptive way. So a couple cool examples for this. This works particularly well for things like math, like algebra, you name it. And what this is you're creating and uploading, for example, PDFs. And we're creating practice sets where they can then take assessments based upon that. Based upon the machine learning and AI that's available within this, let's say you're creating a bunch of algebra questions that you want your students to then get assessed on. What our content will do in this is it will actually provide immediate recommendations for students based upon their answers. So let's say they got a problem incorrect. Google will recognize where the error was, and we can even provide content recommendations for them based upon that. So those will be quick snap cards and snapshots of particular algebra concepts, formulas, you name it. It can also recommend videos as well. But I think that's really exciting, and the fact that it gives automatic feedback to your students. It can also automatically grade these. And the thing that's very cool about this is students are actually able to like handwrite answers in. They can write them in themselves with their keyboard, a number of different ways. So this is a really exciting new assessment tool that we have available that I think is really exciting. On the student perspective, they have the resources built in. So they have the skill cards and video tutorials. They have the ability to check their answers to make sure that they know that they're right on track. It enables support, again, as I said, for multiple inputs, such as handwriting, drawing, and symbolic expression. So it's just a really exciting assessment tool that allows you a very interactive way to provide and assess your students while providing them real-time feedback. So definitely worth checking out. This is currently in beta, but this will be launching later this year. So I know Palm Beach has been checking this out, but this is something that will be coming down the line. So next, we will shift over to calendar and docs and et cetera, a couple other tools in here. So a really cool thing here is the ability for better sharing options for appointment schedules. Maybe you're a guidance counselor, or maybe you're an advisor, you name it. Number of different use cases here, but oftentimes you're a staff member and you want to allow your students or other staff members to schedule appointments with you. So with this, you can actually create in your calendar various appointment blocks, and we've created the ability to easily share this on a booking page. So as you'll see right here in the image on the right, you can invite people to the booking page. They'll see your availability in one place. It's one quick copy and paste, and then you can share that with anyone you'd like, and then they'll be able to see all of your available appointments. They can schedule on your calendar in the click of a button. So again, super easy way to quickly schedule appointments and to allow you a seamless way to do so. This is great for folks that need to do large emails. So like this will not be relevant for every single employee, but there's often times where maybe you're in the communications department, you need to send a mass email out or something like that. So we've launched a few new exciting aspects here. The first being layouts. So this provides a pre-designed set of email templates, which feature images, tech elements, and other buttons to allow you to have more interactive and exciting email layouts. The other thing is multi-send. So this allows you to send mass emails out. Maybe you're a principal, you need to email out to your entire parent population or students without having to BCC everybody. So it's just a seamless way to send larger emails in a quicker way. Next is alt text in Gmail. So this is really an accessibility feature, which I think is really helpful. Oftentimes we'll have images in our emails, and we need a way for people that are on screen readers to better understand what's being shared with them, for example. So you can actually just click in here, you can edit the alt text, and you can provide a description of what that image is in your email. So someone on a screen reader is then able to see exactly what the context is here. So I think this is a really cool, exciting feature, and this is something that I recommend people get into the habit of doing for accessibility reasons and just making sure that we're working with our users to meet them where they're at. So I think that's a really exciting accessibility feature there. Next, we're going to jump into Chrome. A couple of very cool, exciting updates here. The first being the ability to record and share screencasts on Chromebooks. This is not currently available, but will be available to everyone at Palm Beach County when a Chrome update, which is going to be taking place, occurs. That'll be very soon. But what this does is it allows you to screencast. It allows you to share in really interactive ways. And I'm actually going to pass this over, and we're going to watch a video very quick to just highlight how amazing and how easy this feature is for you. It's available on Chromebooks. So it's highly recommend this, and we're now going to shift over to a video so you can get a little more context here.
Students can also use screencasts to record video reports, presentations, and now Chrome OS is helping to make this easier. With Screencast, teachers can record instructional videos or live classes with built-in transcription and translation. Students can also use Screencast to record video reports, presentations, or to access lessons remotely. All recordings are automatically uploaded to Google Drive. Here's how it works. To record a lesson, open the Screencast app on your Chromebook and click New Screencast. This records the speaker's face and voice along with the content on screen. The marker tool allows you to point to and highlight specific parts of your screen while you are presenting. Once the recording is stopped, Screencast transcribes spoken words into text. Both the video and transcript are automatically uploaded to Google Drive for easy sharing within your school domain. When you open the recording, you will see the video on the left and an auto-generated editable transcript on the right. You can also trim the video simply by clicking Skip Section. You can choose to go back and undo these changes later. By clicking the Share button, you'll receive a unique video link to share with your students. With this link, students can open the recording on their Chromebooks. They can use the transcript to locate and re-watch key portions of the video, and translate text into their language of choice. Anyone at your school can use Screencast. All you need is a Chromebook and something to say.
It's a super exciting feature that will be available in the future for y'all at Palm Beach County. So I think it's just such a fun, creative way to create engaging content for your students. And I just love the fact that it automatically creates that transcript for you. You can edit, you can change it, you can delete it. So again, this is just making your life easier and harnessing the power of that Chromebook so you can have more engaging recordings and casts and just ways to engage with your students in different ways. So super exciting, and that's coming up very soon for everybody. All right, with that being said, let's move on. Another very cool feature in the accessibility area, and we're going to talk more about accessibility in just a minute here, is voice commands for dictation on Chrome OS. This is a really helpful feature, especially in accessibility areas. All you have to do is click Search in D on a Chromebook, and then you can edit using just your voice. So things like say new line, move cursor to another line, help. You can fill in any type of space by voice. So it's just a very engaging way to work with students and allow them different ways to communicate to better suit their needs. So again, this is a really helpful tool. Recommend checking that out. And again, accessibility is built into everything we do here at Google for Education. And with that being said, perfect segue here. We're now going to jump into just a couple tips here on things you can do and things that are available for different types of students so we can meet them where they're at. So let's dive right in. So again, at Google for Education, we build accessibility into everything we do. We want all of our tools to be designed for different types of learners, meet them where they're at, different types of staff members, just again, to make sure everybody has the ability to access information in the way that works best for them. So I'm going to cover a couple tips here on Chromebooks and Workspace that are worth checking out. We'll also, as a follow-up, share some training resources on accessibility with Chromebooks and Google Workspace, just to make sure people have this available for you. So what are some best practices of ways to support students who have low vision? Couple examples. These are all on the right side. These are settings that you can change on your Chromebook. This is something that, again, we'll share resources with the team so you all know exactly how to do this. But things like increasing the size or highlighting your cursor, turning on high contrast mode, zooming and magnifying, and automatically read aloud images, alt text, which we just talked about. So these are just ways that support students that have low vision. And one of the pro tips is using high contrast. That really improves screen readability when using devices outside in bright conditions. So again, this is just another way, oftentimes dark mode. It's called high contrast, but again, definitely recommend checking out high contrast mode for those students. Another couple of tools that can help students read and understand text on their devices are things like select to speak. These are all built into Chromebooks and built into the tools that we have. So with this, you're able to highlight any text on a website, in a Google Doc, you name it, and your Chromebook or computer will actually read that out to you. So I think that's really helpful. Chromebook screen reader, that's another, again, built-in tool into our systems. And another exciting thing is read and write. Highly recommend checking those out. And these are just provide additional ways to help your students understand text on their devices. Couple other helpful tips for people that want to help support your students with limited hearing. We talked about the live translated captions today. There's also just, just English captions as well that are available. We always highly recommend having students using live captions so they can follow along with exactly what you're saying if on a Google Meet. Another good example of this is maybe you're a teacher, you're in your class, you want to provide captions for your students as you're teaching. You could always just present on a Google Meet and have it up right behind you on a projector or on a smart screen, and have those captions turned on so your students can follow along and read as you are speaking. So I think that's really helpful. That's also available in Google Slides. You can actually turn on captions inside of Google Slides. So as you're talking, as you're presenting, the students can follow along. I think that's really exciting. Another helpful tip is some students actually have better experience when their audio is turned to mono instead of stereo. So that's also a recommendation that can be done on a Chromebook or within Workspace, is turning that into mono audio, because that can actually be easier for students to hear that have limited hearing. Another couple of helpful tips for guiding students with writing challenges or mobility impairments are things like dictation. As we talked about, that's the ability to quickly dictate using voice, having things filled out. As you're seeing right here in the animation on the right, there's also the on-screen keyboard. We often find that can be often much easier for students that face mobility impairments or writing challenges. You can have automatic mouse settings, which I think is really cool. And again, we're going to share resources on how to do this. Automatic mouse settings could be if you hover the mouse over something for a certain amount of seconds, it'll automatically click it, things like that. So just again, meeting the students where they're at and providing them with all the accessibility tools they need to get their work done. And a couple others, again, for students with learning disabilities, we recommend a couple of tools here. Again, high contrast mode, which you're seeing on the right, just helps. It helps have the text pop out. It gets rid of some of the distractions in the background. Highly recommend that. Select to speak is another great tool. There's another helpful font available as a Chrome extension, again, called Open Dyslexic, which is a dyslexic-friendly typeface that makes it easier for students to read. So a couple of recommendations there. So we're now going to jump into a couple of training recommendations just so everybody's aware what's available, and we're going to dive in now. So a couple really helpful areas where you can learn to use Google tools. The first being the Teacher Center. This is a flexible training course and quick product guides for educators of all levels. Within the Teacher Center, and I highly recommend everybody, write this down right now, go to the Teacher Center, take a look through some of the various resources there. We have trainings on accessibility. We have certifications available there. A number of different resources that we've made available to help you find exactly what you need so you can get the most out of Google tools, whether it's Chromebooks, whether it's Workspace, extensive training resources, very easy to digest, quick videos, quick PDFs, things like that. Check out the Teacher Center. Highly recommend that. Next, if you want to take it to that next level and you want to get a level 1 or level 2 certification in Google for Education, those are also available, and you can find those on the Teacher Center. So level 1 and level 2 certifications help you to develop your expertise and demonstrate mastery of Google for Education tools. There's some helpful badges that you can have there showing that you have a deep understanding of how to utilize Google for Education and how to utilize our various tools. So I highly recommend those certifications. If you wanted to take it a step further and become a certified trainer, this is another in-depth certification that we have available. Again, you can find information on the Teacher Center there. This allows you to get the certification to lead and train fellow educators with group training sessions on the Google for Education tools. A couple other certifications that are available are Certified Coach. So this is, preparing instructional coaches in best practices of how to work one-on-one with educators to transform how your schools use technology. That's another very relevant tool there. And then last but not least, we have Certified Innovators. This is, a unique passion products to solve challenges in education. These are for folks that want to take things to the ultimate next level. You want to create really cool, fun, engaging solutions using Google tools that can solve unique problems that end users might be having, whether they're students, whether they're teachers. It's a very in-depth, robust certification, but worth checking out if that interests you. Again, you all have availability to these slides, but this will just give you a better breakdown of that. And then a couple, just wanted to call these out. We have a couple of really engaging content that we've created at Google for Education that I highly recommend checking out. The first being CS First. This is a free computer science curriculum that Google developed in partnership with others that makes coding simple to teach and fun to learn. The thing that's really cool about CS First, this is typically targeting elementary students, middle school, some high school, but the real target is elementary and middle school. It makes coding fun, and you do not need to have experience in computer science to be able to teach this. It's set up in very digestible ways for the instructor. It provides you full explanations, and it's really worth checking out if you want to teach your students and get them excited about computer science and making coding fun. Next, we have Applied Digital Skills. This is another widely available curriculum that we developed. We provided this in a project-based video modality. So the way that this works is this teaches students practical digital skills that they'll need for the future of work. So things like making a budget, making effective presentations, you name it. We have so much content available in Applied Digital Skills that I highly recommend checking that out. Across various grade levels, from elementary, middle school, high school, adult learning, you name it. There's so much content in there that it can be very engaging and ways to elevate some of your courses. So check that out if you get a chance. Last but not least, as we all know, in the world that we live in, we need to teach our students to be good digital citizens. And that's why Google created Be Internet Awesome. This is really helpful for elementary students particularly, also helpful for middle school and high school as well. But with Be Internet Awesome, it helps students understand the digital citizenship and safety so they can explore the online world with confidence. So again, this is keeping students safe, teaching them best practices, and highly recommend checking that out if you're working with a student population that would benefit from that, which in my opinion is every. Last but not least, before we jump out of here, we have a couple of really exciting Google training opportunities coming up here. Again, you should be able to click the links within this deck. I'll share the bit.ly again at the end here. But we have the Teach and Learn with Chrome series. If you're a teacher and you're wanting to learn better ways to get the most out of your Chromebooks and Chrome OS, this is a really exciting training series. It will teach you about effective teaching and learning strategies, how to use screencast, and so much more. So you're getting the most out of your Chromebooks. If you're a teacher using a Chromebook or working with students on Chromebooks, highly recommend checking that out. Last but not least, we have Driving Impactful Instruction with Google Workspace for Education. This is a hands-on with new product features, will help address and help you solve real use cases and common challenges faced by curriculum, ed tech leaders, and educators. So this is a very exciting training opportunity we have available as well. You can click the link in there and get started on that. I'm going to go back to the beginning so everybody can see the bit.ly, but we will be jumping onto the interactive space after this. You can come chat with us there as well. But here's the bit.ly and a QR code to get full access to this deck so you can keep it with you and keep referencing that content. So again, thank you so much. I'm Sam Canning-Kaplan. I really appreciate everyone's time today. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Sam. And thank you, Jeremy and Iris, for being in the chat as well. I just wanted to remind everyone that we still have a wonderful session C coming up, and you will have an opportunity to talk to Sam in the Kumo space. So if you haven't checked out the Kumo space, come on over to the Kumo space, turn on your video, turn on your camera. You can talk and you see people within your circle. You'll be able to hear people on your left or on your right. So the Kumo space is a really, really, really good opportunity. And please don't forget to stop by the exhibit hall to speak to our sponsors. Without their help, we would not be able to make this possible. We are grateful for our partners here at Google. And I just wanted to say one quick thing before we end. Dr. Fayal talked this morning about equity. It is so important that we have those tools at our fingertips with Google, these accessibility tools. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited to hear some of the things that we have to look forward to, and I hope you are too. Thanks again. And this session, you will be able to see it again using the same link because it'll be on our YouTube channel. So thanks a lot.